First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this is your brother Tawaba from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, coming right back at you with a little lesson in I sit up here and this was in my news feed, and I actually seen a few videos on this while I was looking at YouTube about some flyers being passed around in Cincinnati due to that Cincinnati brawl. You know, and they talking about KKK members are passing around flyers talking about citizens, so-called white citizens should arm themselves, you know, and you're going to have a so-called black couple on here talking about it, you know, some news media reporters saying a few things, but hey, that Jacob's Trouble is right around the corner. Right? It's knocking at the door. It's ringing the doorbell. It's just a matter of time. Incidents like this are just going to happen and continuously happen until it just boils and boils. And then boom, boiling point. And there you go. Before you know it, a whole bunch of hell. But with that, man, I'm going to sit up here and let this play. It sit up here and says this is WCPO 9. And like I said before, this is in Cincinnati. And it says, College Hill left truly disappointed after finding KKK flyers scattered throughout the neighborhood. You know, and like I said before, you know, it's just a matter of time. So with that, I'm going to let the minute and 46 seconds play, and I'm going to grab a few scriptures, man. But hey, things are about to heat up, man. Things been heating up. Let's just be honest. Things have been heating up. You know, it's just a matter of time for everything just start going full-blown chaos. And, you know, the brothers, hey, we just waiting, you know, hey, patiently waiting for it to happen, you know, but we can't wait for it to happen, man. We want to hasten the day. We ready to get the fuck up out of here. So with that, man, I'm going to sit up here and let this play. I'm going to grab a few scriptures.
This letter, just one of many seen on Kirkland Drive in College Hill Sunday morning. Video from a resident showed the pamphlets scattered throughout the road. Hours later, flyers can still be seen on the street, a curb, and even underneath a car.
We just felt like it was important to speak up and against it.
Rahman and Tiffany Shabazz reached out to us directly Sunday.
Not necessarily fear, but you know, feelings of frustration and feeling like this is our neighborhood. This is where we all come home to live our lives.
The couple told me a neighbor was the first person to alert them of KKK flyers on their street.
We picked them up and read them. We were just truly disappointed.
The flyer specifically mentions, quote, vicious attacks, seemingly referring to last weekend's violence in downtown Cincinnati, telling white people to, quote, arm yourselves. We learned later on Sunday afternoon that it may not just have been this area of College Hill that saw those flyers end up in their neighborhood. WCPO 9 was sent this image, including a second flyer that was found in Madisonville, which is miles away from College Hill. The Shabazzes left me with this message to the people who brought the flyers.
And we just want, you know, those individuals to know that that's not acceptable in this neighborhood or anyone else in the city.
And to the entire Cincinnati area.
This has to stop. We've come too far to have to deal with that in our communities.
The flyers appear to be left by the same group that scattered these flyers in January in northern Kentucky involving deportation. WCPO 9 received a statement from the Cincinnati Police Department saying in part, quote, our intelligence unit is actively investigating this matter, and, quote, we are committed to maintaining a safe and inclusive environment for all residents. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. Reporting in College Hill, Sam Harris-Samowitz, WCPO 9 News.
Hey, so you hear, you know, and hey, these elites are smiling, man, because every little thing that happens, man, is just that every situation that you see, every little chaotic crisis that you see, hey, these elites are laughing because it knows it builds up, man, into a boiling point until chaos truly spills over. You know, I forgot who it was that sit up here and said, never let a good crisis go to waste. It doesn't matter what the crisis is. It doesn't matter how big or small. All these things add up until it just tips over into a boiling point, and then all hell breaks loose. So stuff like this right here could cause just as much problems as anything else, you know. So, but with that, man, you know what? I have it on Matthew 24. This was one of the scriptures I was going to get, but I'm going to go ahead and get it anyway. Now I'm going to go ahead and read it right now. This is Matthew 24:7. I'm going to go straight to the point. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. That nation against nation, there's going to be a race wars, kingdom against kingdom. You already sit up here and see, you already seeing wars and rumors of wars happening right now. the Gaza situation, the Palestine situation, Ukraine and Russia, China and Taiwan is going to sit up here and be something too. And that right there might cause even more of a conflict because, America's presence. So there's many things that's going to sit up here and cause a lot of problems. But the main thing I'm talking about is Jacob's trouble, man. Hey, Jake, you so-called black Latinos and Native Americans, it's just a matter of time before the powder keg hits over here. But make no mistake, when that Jacob trouble happened, hey, a lot of these heathen and these Edomites going to get fucked up too. But with that, let me sit up here and go to Jeremiah 30 real quick. And 7. Well, I'm going to start at 6. This is Jeremiah 30 and 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. And hands on the loin, pain, man. A lot of motherfucking pain. And paleness, that's going to be that fright, that fear that's going to overcome a lot of people, man. When that Jacob trouble hit, man, it's going to be a lot of fear. There's going to be a lot of death, a lot of chaos, a lot of destruction, a lot of darkness, It ain't going to be a joke, man. To these camps out here who sitting up here preaching ain't no Jacob's trouble, we already had Jacob's trouble, whatever other bullshit they come up with. No, Jacob's trouble is right around the corner. It's knocking on your door. It's ringing the fucking doorbell. It's just a matter of time. People ain't going to be prepared for when all that shit happens. And then it's going to be too goddamn late. But here's this Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Time of Jacob's trouble. And like I said before, make no mistake, Jake gonna get busy with a lot of these heathens. It's gonna be just a lot of chaos, a lot of fucking destruction, But Jake gonna catch hell, man, and then guess what? Them nuclear missiles and Yahushua coming on those chariots to finish y'all punk asses off, Gotta get rid of 2/3 of our people and the rebels around the world because y'all ain't shit right now. And fuck these heathens too. But they say, but he shall be saved up out of it. And that's going to be the elect. The elect going to be saved up out of it. If you go further into that Matthew 24, to sit up here and say he's going to gather his elect from around the 4 corners of the earth, or 4 corners of the world. Roughly paraphrasing. But that's who's going to be saved up out of it. That remnant, that elect. Hey, but Jacob's trouble, man, is right here. It's just not fully blown yet. And when it gets fully blown, oh boy, it's going to be pure fucking hell. Pure fucking hell. And just to make a point about, hey, Jake going to get busy too. You sit up here and go to Genesis 49. What was that? Genesis 49. I think it's a little further down. I know it's in here, but right now I'm having a... Oh, here it is. Genesis 49 and 9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey. My son, thou art going up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion and as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up? You got to understand, Jake has been in a pitiful case, man. Been always down and out, downtrodden. But guess what? These motherfuckers getting rose up, man. You seeing a lot of cases where Jake just don't give a damn. They fucking motherfuckers so-called white people up and don't give a shit now. And this happening, it's been happening for the last couple of years. And the build-up is just there. It's just a matter of time. And like I said before, these elites are smiling because they see every little spat, every little it's a word I'm looking for. Every little issue that arises or problem that comes up, or every little moment that you see Jake and Esau going at each other, whether it be small or large, these things right here go to a boiling point at some point. And guess what? Then this whole country gonna be on fire pretty soon, man. A lot of fighting, a lot of infighting, a lot of Egyptian against Egyptian. Hey, you can't count that out because these Edomites are sick of each other. The government and everything. But right now, it's going to go into that point. Hey, Jacob going to get roused up too in that point. So, hey, just don't sit up here and think that one moment that when Jacob's trouble comes, it's going to be all about Jake getting all destroyed. No, it's going to be hell for everybody. But Jay gonna really catch it because Jay gonna catch a lot of judgment, man, because they just sitting up here being ignorant and don't want to follow the Lord, don't want to follow the Lord's ways, being some adulterous ass idolaters. They're gonna get fucked up. What was the other scripture I was going to? I want to sit up here and go into Amos real quick because, hey, like I said, Jacob's trouble, man. These goddamn devils don't like y'all, man. This is Amos 1:11. Thus saith the Lord, thy power, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the places of Bozrah, and that's going to be where all your Edomites are, man. You know? But hey, these damn devils coming, man, because, man, they kept their anger forever. These motherfuckers ain't suppressed nothing. Trump just gave them the full go-ahead, the green light to sit up here and show their true colors. That's all he did, was empower these motherfucking devils to show their true colors, and that's what they're doing. And they're doing it a lot. It's just a matter of time. And they don't care. You know, against you so-called Hispanics, against you so-called blacks, against you so-called Native Americans. They don't care. They coming at everybody, you know. And it's just a matter of time, man. And then, like I said before, it's just it's just that boiling point, you know. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna end it right here. It's that boiling point, man. That's the second Esdras 16 real quick. Second Esdras 16. Here it is. This is second Esdras 16. And there's a point with this. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child in her 9th month bringeth forth her son, who with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. And the reason I sit up and get this, how those pains go, man. Every moment they keep on getting, as the time goes on, they keep getting shorter and worse and worse, before it's just a boiling point, before everything just tips over. And that's the same way with these little incidents that happen between Jake and you know, these momos and all this other stuff that's going on with the illegal deportation, you know, the bills that Trump is passing out. All these things are plagues and that are coming forth. You know, all these are plagues, man. And it's just a matter of time before that boiling point, before people just say fuck it and go all out. Especially when that food crisis hit. And I think that's going to be, and see, therein lies, I think, some of the big part of it going to be right then and there. When you sit up here and start inflation hit, can't afford food, certain food items, you can't find it. You know, you seeing that happening right now with the deportation with these immigrants. A lot of these farmers are having a hard time with the food. Even one of the persons I know, they got a blueberry farm, and she sit up here and told me that she can't have no one to pick it. She said it's been hard for her, you know. But the whole point of the matter is, all these things are just plagues that are coming, no matter what they are. Anything that sit up here and causes grief, causes any type of complications, those are plagues, man. Hey, it doesn't matter. Plagues ain't just diseases and viruses. No, man. When something is causing you all sorts of grief and pain, that's plaguing you, fucking with you mentally, fucking with you physically, you know. And all these things are going to sit up here and lead to a boiling point. And the things with Jake, all that stuff is going to lead to a boiling point with Esau and Edom, and these little incidents that's happening between Jake and Esau, and Jacob and Esau. And I'm talking about the so-called whites and the so-called black people, you know, and the Hispanics and the Native Americans. But either way it go, man, hey, look, I just happened to see that article, and I've been looking at little news stories here and there about it. You know, it's just a matter of time, man. So, hey, guys, like I said before, just stay prayed up, man. Hey, man, we almost up out of this goddamn place. Hey, keep praying and hastening the day, man, for the Lord to get us the hell up out of here. So with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash, double honors to those apostles and elders from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the whole for that you guys may be sealed sooner. With that, I would say stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other because we're almost up out of here. So with that, I'd like to say Kwam Yasharallah and Abba Ball and Anyaha Batham Malakiam. Shalom.